Okay, welcome to this week's My Take On. I went outside for this one because I haven't been well lately. Don't feel like setting up my computer camera, so that's why I haven't done much for a while. I got a flu for a couple of weeks. Didn't feel too good today, so I don't look too good on the camera. It's because, well, these cell phone cameras pick up a lot of details, so I'm going to look a lot older anyway. Or a lot not so attractive, and I'm not worried about that. It's just a camera, it's not me. Well, anyway, I'm making this one. I was going to go with the one on how to treat a woman. But this week's My Take On is a verse I was mentioning on Facebook, but I kind of combined some of the words before the start of this passage with it. It does not depart to the outer darkness in this portion of it. That's what it says right before it. So, but it does say something about punishment for certain people. And I'm going to be reading it out of one of my Bibles. It's an interlinear version with an NIV book on the side. Sometimes I try to research the words, but for this one I won't need to research. So this is on the coming of the Son of Man and who he's going to judge, to go to going to judge between two types of people in heaven. So I'm going to be starting with Matthew 25:31, and I believe I am reading all the way to the end to 25:46. So here it is. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people from one another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep at his right hand and the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I say to you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me." Then he will say to those at his left hand, "You that are accursed, depart from me into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not give me clothing. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." Then they will also answer, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison, and did not take care of you?" Then he will answer them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. And why I prioritize this one is because I've been seeing worse and worse things. I'm not trying to talk politics, but some people who are saying they're Christian, they obviously did not read that passage, because they aren't behaving anything like that. They're picking on homeless people, people who look like they're foreigners, and other things, and they're just not considering that God would not have them act that way. So that's why I had to mention it. And we're going to see that they can't conceal this stuff from you if you have access to a Bible. What you got to watch out for is if they try to spoon feed you things that they think justifies their viewpoint, but, then they try to block you from reading the truth. You got to watch for those things from people trying to be right. And that's what I had to say about that, pretty much. You just don't want to listen to these people who try to find stuff that agrees with them in the Bible. I know there's stuff in the Old Testament, but I don't think there was really anything that said you should be really bad to poor homeless people in there. Unless you're like going to why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. One of the sins was not being generally considerate of others, because they weren't very nice to people who passed through, and they were kind of helping themselves more than helping others. So if you really want to be correct about it, when they keep telling you stuff like to not help people and to gather them up and lock them up because they're not perfect or whatever, when they're telling you to do those things, as a real Christian, you should avoid those things. Because that's not what Christians do. They help people. They don't lock them up because they don't like them or whatever reasons they have for this. And if there are criminals among them, sure, those people belong in jail. But you're going to have to do something with the rest. If you want them to not be the way they are, you got to help get them out of where they're at. You have to help lift them up. You have to help them find work or help them get a better outlook on life. A lot of them are there because they feel hopeless, and you're not helping them by locking them up somewhere, okay? That's just one example I'm seeing of, people who say they're Christians, but they sure sound like the people that Jesus is going to throw out to eternal punishment to be. So, and I'm going to you can look this verse up on BibleHub.com. I had to look it up to find the exact place it was in here. It was 25:31 in Matthew. I'm sure there might be cross references for you there too, so you can go and look that up. If I look kind of funny on this video, it's also the selfie holder I'm using because it's holding the camera a little off center. And I'm only doing this because somebody complained that I was filming from the wrong angle the last time. So I'm probably going to have to get a better thing like a tripod or something. Well, anyway, that's pretty much the conclusion of my message for this week. And I'm sorry I didn't get to it sooner because of the illnesses and stuff. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Thanks for watching.